Hello. I got started shuffling the Keepers of the Light Oracle, and this card fell out. The Divine Director, Intervention and Purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Okay, what I noticed about this image was, well, what he's wearing. It kind of made me think of Star Trek for some reason. So maybe you are a fan of Star Trek. So, in looking at the word purpose, and the closing phrase here says, happiness is your purpose. Well, we have more than one purpose. So that's the questions that I want to focus on during this session today. Let's see if Spirit will reveal any more information about your purpose here. What is the purpose of the person watching? Can you please share with us the purpose of the person watching right now? We have focus. Focus on your desires. That's what I'm getting. And dream big. Embracing. That makes me think of love. Your purpose is to love yourself, to love this life, to love others, to share love, to be love. Forgiveness. Well, that falls in line with love, right? Forgiveness makes me think of unconditional love. Your purpose is to remember your true nature, which is the frequency of unconditional love. And I'm looking at this person's arms reaching out. It makes me think of reunion, a return to home, a return to self, a return to your true self, which is the frequency of unconditional love, the energy of love. You are returning to yourself, yes. You are returning to your true essence. That is your purpose here. Transformation. Look at this butterfly. Your purpose also is to constantly evolve as an eternal soul, having a human experience. You are here to evolve, expand. And that makes me think, you are here to be a living example of what is possible when you turn within. Looking at this heron makes me think of the hermit in the tarot. When you turn within, go within, self-reflect, get really honest with yourself, face all of your shadows. and still choose to love. You're here to be a living example, yes, of what is possible when you learn to love yourself. Of what is possible when you focus on love. You are here to live out your potential, and as an ever-evolving soul, an eternal soul, in one lifetime, well, there's a limit to what you can do in one lifetime. But now that you feel more emboldened, now that you've learned to love and accept yourself, forgive yourself, and focus on the positive, you've switched your mindset from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset. You believe in limitless possibilities for yourself. Protection. What I heard was, in regards to your purpose here, just looking at this image, the tree. Whenever I look at trees, I think of wisdom. You are here to offer wisdom, to share your wisdom. Having spent 7:17 when I looked at the clock, having spent a lot of time going within to know thyself. So by sharing your knowledge, your experience, you will be able to provide shelter, so to speak, to guide people who are also on the healing path. Yeah, I'm thinking of the lighthouse symbolism, being a guiding light. And seeing the lightning, right? Makes me think of storm. And that's what lighthouses do. They help people home, back to safety. So, by you being a living example, you can support others by sharing your story, so that they may also be inspired to move towards their true self, to return home to their true selves. Okay. We have release and healing chaos. More butterflies here, just like on the transformation card. I would be returning to what I already said before. Having gone within, healing chaos makes me think of not only transformation, but transmutation. turning lead into gold, so to speak, turning pain and suffering into power, empowerment. Learning to release and surrender your past self that was conditioned in the matrix of limitation. Living a fear-based life, living in survival mode, you released those kinds of limiting beliefs. No longer anchored, confined by such fear-based thoughts. You know that you are meant to be free. That is also your purpose, to be free. Release, liberation, to be free. Okay, now I'm looking at healing chaos and I'm thinking about you're having a higher perspective now. You're being able to pull back from surface appearances. You can look deeper, see beyond what's on the surface, and look from a higher perspective. You know that there's a divine order and divine plan. You know that not everything is as it seems. That the chaos that may be happening out in the world, that the perception of chaos, that is, it depends on one's perspective, right? It depends on one's vibration, how you perceive the world. And because you were able to go within, gain wisdom and insight, get really honest with yourself, and now are able to be more of a neutral observer, you can look at the so-called chaos out in the world with a more critical eye and perspective. And you not only see with your physical eyes, you look with your intuition. And like I said, you know that this perception of chaos, there's actually a divine purpose. And that this perceived chaos is actually a crumbling of faulty foundations. There seems to be more, quote, chaos in the world right now. Things seem like they're crumbling because there's so much more light in the world now. And it's going to continue. The light of awareness is shining on the darkness, shedding light. Faulty foundations, institutions, systems built on faulty foundations cannot stand indefinitely. And that is what is happening at this time. And you can provide that perspective. Be the calm in the storm. You are part of that light, shining that light on illusions. The vibration on planet Earth is rising. The scales are balancing. And before things right themselves, well, structures like the Tower card in the Tarot must fall in order to rebuild again from a firm foundation. And that's why so many people are going within, building a stable spiritual foundation from within, learning to love ourselves, remember our self-worth and value, our innate worth and value, to love ourselves, respect ourselves, to be honest, radically honest with ourselves. And the more we do that, the more that will be reflected out in the world. We are being the change that we want to see in the world. And that is part of your purpose here. Stillness. Stillness. Makes me think of mindfulness, of being in the present moment. To understand the wisdom that can be derived when we're in stillness and silence, the power of silence. That makes me think. Yep, the power of silence. And just looking at this swan. The swan to me looks magnificent. And it isn't really doing anything, it's just being still, right? That's how powerful energy is. Just by merely existing, you're making an impact. And that is also another one of your purposes, just to exist, just to be who you are. Even in stillness, you are making a difference through your energy, your unique energy signature, your vibration, your loving, peaceful vibration. It's causing a ripple effect. You're part of that light that is being shone upon these faulty foundations that are crumbling. And all we have to do is focus on ourselves, is focus on love. The vibration of love. I'm even looking at the tree, just a lone tree out in the field. And I feel its energy, its wisdom, its strength. That's how powerful energy is. That's how powerful you are. You don't have to lift a finger. beginnings. And look at that horizon, that vibrant horizon. It makes me think of the new earth. It makes me think of a new dawn, a new day. I believe those are lyrics from the song Feeling Good. Now, usually when I think of that song, and I did a video on this, where I went over the lyrics of the song Feeling Good by Michael Bublé. But also, I learned recently, Nina Simone also has a recording of Feeling Good. A new dawn, a new day. That's part of your purpose too. Leading the way to a new dawn and a new day. To the new earth. That's right. Okay. I think I'm going to stop it there. Pretty good. A little over 20 minutes. My videos usually go much longer than that, so I'm going to just stop it there. But thank you so much for your beautiful energy, for contributing your beautiful energy. And for focusing on the path of love into realizing the new world, the new earth. Take care.